All right, folks, I literally just got in and I figured I'd do a different video. I wanted to do this video for a while, didn't really know when to post it. I was going to post it to the members only. Shout out to all the people that have been supporting through memberships throughout this time. The title of the video has nothing to do with games, nothing to do with anything. It's about you guys. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Like, I feel like it's been a while, obviously, because I don't stream Gears anymore. We haven't really connected, and I understand that people don't want to watch StarCraft or they don't want to watch Path of Exile. I get it, boys. You've all got your own free time, and you don't want to watch other games. Hey, that's chill. By the way, we're rocking the 2022 Silverstone hat. Added one to the collection for the lime yellow Ziicarios look. It's super luminous. It's not quite picking it up, but it's very bright. I rate it. So, it's been a good few years since the pandemic. It's been a good few years since we initially connected over. Many of you might have come across me from like the Gears rant early on. Many of you might have come from the Gears 1, 2, and 3 events, and they were a good couple of years ago. It doesn't seem like it, but they were a good couple of years ago. And a few of you may connected through me discussing pizza recipes or reviews or product reviews or talking about COVID and Perosmia or Warzone cheating or Gears, or there's been a whole host of stuff, right, that we've obviously done for like the past couple of years on YouTube and streaming. And it's always been about, hey, here's this video, here's my thoughts. But I'm actually interested in you guys. It's why I do the channel. It's why I continue to post videos, because I find it interesting and like to get people's opinions on stuff. And today I want to know how you are. It's as simple as that, really. It's been 2 years since the pandemic. I'm hoping everyone's well and safe. A quick update on the old COVID situation. Had a brain MRI about 3 months ago. Had no results back. Was due to have another appointment. I think it was like the 29th, the day before my appointment that I'd waited like 3 months for. They cancelled it with a single note that just said, yeah, it's been cancelled. I haven't managed to get back in touch with them. And basically, not really too sure what's going on. I'm 99.9% sure there's nothing wrong with my head. You know, I feel fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with me, so that's all good. And smell and taste wise, we're still basically the same. However, there have been a few changes. Namely, I can eat chocolate, which might not sound like a big thing, but kind of sweets. So a lot of sweets, like if you like anything like, how would I describe it? Anything like raspberry, strawberry, blackcurrant, anything a bit fragrant, a bit perfumey, tastes really sweet and awful, but chocolate seems to be okay. Onion, garlic is, I'm not going to say it's getting better, but there has been some improvement, which is really big. It might not sound like much, but that's really big. Smell-wise, still wrong. Everything like body-wise still smells wrong. But there have been a few bits of improvement, which has cheered my mood up quite a lot, which is why I've kind of been back streaming a bit more positive, because it's no fun not being able to eat any kind of food. Me personally, a few people know I've been going on walks, trying to get a bit healthier. I have sort of stopped doing that because I've had some personal issues which have affected my ability to sort of get out and do the things that I want to do, but I won't bore you with them. But we're doing all right. I'm going to get back into the swing of things hopefully soon. But yeah, that's enough about me. Today I wanted to talk about you folks. I'm hoping everyone's okay. I'm hoping everyone got through the pandemic relatively unscathed. Okay, I'm hoping you're doing all right. And I just wanted to chat about the world just for like 10 minutes, really. It might be interesting, it might be boring to you. There's everyone's from different regions, right? I have people that I know that live in Spain. There are people that are from Mexico. There are people that are from America, Canada, England. There's people all over the spot, right, that tune in and comment and say hello. How are you doing? Like, how do you think your country's doing? How's everyone handling it? For me in England, right, everything's mega expensive. By the way, look at this here. You see this? I woke up the other morning and I was like, oh, I'll just trim my beard, and I friggin' didn't put the guard on, did I? So then I was like, oh, I'll shave my beard off, and then I was like, nah, so I'm just gonna let it grow out. Anyway, point is, in England, everything's got super expensive. Electric, gas is shot up. I've done a video on that. Bill-wise, petrol-wise, if anyone's filling up the cars, boys, like, it's ridiculous, isn't it? How much it costs. I've actually taken my car off the road, and I haven't driven my car in about a year. Maybe even a bit more than a year now, and I'm pretty sure I've forgotten how to drive. I'm pretty sure, like, if I get behind the wheel, I'm gonna kill somebody or something. So I gotta be honestly, I might even take some driving lessons when I get back behind the wheel, because I feel like I've just forgotten everything, or I might just take it on some back roads and get up to speed. But everything's so expensive at the moment, it's super difficult, which is why I really appreciate that people have still kept some memberships going on YouTube to support the channel. They come in and they'll subscribe occasionally through Twitch or throw some bits, and that's more than enough. Like, the way the world is, man, the fact that you're even supporting a small YouTuber such as myself, it's absolutely, like, yeah, it's unbelievable, to be completely honest, and I mean that. Like, I don't expect anything. The world situation is everything's gone super expensive, right? It's mad, man. And prices at I don't know if they're doing this for you in other countries, but prices are jumping off all over the shop, like high, low. It seems random at times what spikes, what doesn't spike. One thing I've been reading about is this bullwhip effect, and it's about sort of how retail sales are affected by, I don't quite know how to explain it. It's basically like little changes in a system have like a massive long-term effect on like a supply chain, and it kind of leads to, for want of like a simpler term, like a deflationary pressure, meaning it's like, how do I word this? To put it simply, right? To give you an example, it's kind of like how I imagine this to work. I'm butchering this explanation here, but people want a load of goods and services, and they're rushing out, and they're in demand, especially during COVID, right? There was a lot of stuff. I don't know if you rushed out and bought some stuff. You weren't sure when it was going to be available, not available. And there was this pressure, there was this fake pressure to basically get a load of goods, and to keep up with demand, people ordered, or the suppliers ordered a load of stuff, but it wasn't real. The demand for the goods wasn't really real, and as a result, they've got this huge backlog of stuff, which there's been some conspiracy theories that due to shipping costs, because of how expensive shipping costs were, they were holding back stock, or they were raising prices to cover the cost of the shipping, or they were holding back stuff, and basically there's been like this really strange effect where certain stuff isn't available. I don't know what it's like in your country, but certain things are just not available. One of the strange things, man, is like I went into a supermarket the other day, and there's so much going on in the world. I wanted to buy some sunflower oil. Can't buy more than one bottle of sunflower oil because of Ukraine. So I was like, right, okay. And there's just this like weird pressure of like, hey, look, there's all these computer chips available, now they're not available. There's all these cameras available, now they're not available. There's all this food available, now it's not available. And there's all this like effect going on that's not really real. And so what I think is going to happen, I don't normally talk about this kind of stuff, but what I think is going to happen the next coming months, there's going to be loads of products that are, how do I word this, like unnecessary products, things you don't need to live, like excess goods, for want of a better word. The word eludes me at the moment. Like frivolous items, right? Your cameras, your computers. People are getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed through their jobs because they're your pay isn't going up nearly as much as the goods are going up. So people have less and less and less money available at the end of the month after they've paid off their key bills to go ahead and spend on stuff or treat themselves or live a life. So a lot of people are just literally working themselves to the bone just to have a few extra pennies that they can't really do anything with because everything's expensive. When you're out there surviving, the last thing you're going to go ahead and do is drop £1,000 on an inflated television price. And I can imagine in the next few months that a lot of these unnecessary goods are going to come crashing in price. And if you have any spare cash, my theory would be that you can pick these up and then in a few years' time, it'll actually be worthwhile. A small example is like bikes. Bikes a few years ago were so expensive. Were so cheap. You could get correct gears, brakes, frames, all the good stuff. My dad's into bikes. That's kind of how I know about this. And sockets and gear sets and all of this stuff, right, for super cheap in comparative to where they are now. Nowadays, if you want to go and spend $2,000 on like a decent road bike, it's pretty shit for some of the stuff that you can get. And if you'd have stocked up back then on bikes, you'd have been making bank right now. And I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's going to come crashing down for relatively cheap because a lot of these people, a lot of these businesses ordered a load of stuff that simply there isn't actually a demand. It's like fake demand, and they're going to have to get rid of it because they need money to pay staff and all of this stuff, right? So I think that's going to happen. So I think I know I'm going on here, but this is just a rambly video. I think basically we're in a bit of a mess, aren't we? Worldwide, we're in a bit of a mess. And here's a really big conspiracy. I was thinking about this because, yes, Joe Rogan. Sometimes I watch a bit of Joe Rogan. Don't worry, I'm not a complete lunatic conspiracy theorist. I like to dabble in a variety of bits of information. And the way we're going, aren't we? Do you think we're going to be on this planet in a few hundred years? I think we're hitting the self-destruct button. I honestly think we're hitting the self-destruct button, and there's going to be something that happens that we basically reset, boys. I honestly think, think about it. Nobody can afford a house. Jobs aren't paying enough. Everyone's basically working, and then they have a tiny, tiny amount to not really buy anything. So we're all becoming robots. And then, effectively, once you've finished becoming a robot for 70 years, you retire where you're old and knackered, and then you basically drop dead. I think there's going to be some revolt, some uprising. We're already seeing bloody World War III kick off with Ukraine and Russia. I honestly think, I know that's not related, but I honestly think that the way we're going with sustainability, the amount of plastic we're producing. I read the other day we produce in the UK something like 1 million bottles a minute, and that's just water. That's not even like Coca-Cola or anything like that. It might have been in Europe, something. It was some staggering stat. And I just think the whole planet's just collapsing, man. We're getting like crazy heat waves in the UK. I honestly don't know how much more we're going to stand, mate, before something goes wrong. Because the way we are as humans, man, we're not going to do something until something happens. Like when, for example, like when all of the polar ice caps melt and the sea's gone up 50,000 foot, mate, and we're all underwater, people will go, yeah, I reckon we should do something about that. What should we start building to hold this water back? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm being facetious, but it's all becoming a bit of a mess. And I just wanted to check in with you folks and be like, how are you all doing? Like, on a personal level. Because it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Gaming-wise, I didn't want to come on here and say, oh, this game's crap, this game's boring, this game's blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, like, actually, gaming's a pretty nice escape, isn't it? Sometimes. At the moment, I've been playing StarCraft 2. I haven't played StarCraft 2 in ages. And I've just been working on my own individual skill to try and improve at StarCraft. We've had some more viewership because I think people like watching the StarCraft battles back and forth a little bit more than, say, Path of Exile. And I've just been playing a little bit of that to chill out on stream. I'm thinking about getting a camera to improve the quality of my stream. However, they're so expensive, and the way I buy things is I like to buy the expensive goods because, this might sound backwards, I'm like too... what's that phrase? You're too poor to pay twice or something. Like, there are some DSLR cameras. I sold my old DSLR camera because it wasn't modern, really. It didn't have video or anything. It took really nice pictures, but I wanted something with video. I wanted something that maybe could vlog, but I don't know if I'd really want to walk around the streets vlogging myself. I just feel like a self-obsessed wanker, basically, so I probably wouldn't do that. But I'd like something with some video capability, something with a little bit more sharpness, something with a lens. I'm trying to, like, I have a limited space. I've obviously got my bed behind me. I've got my wall. I'm thinking about doing like a greyed out wall, black wardrobes, or I'm thinking about taking my wardrobes that are here and putting them along this wall and then making some kind of backdrop behind me, something like that to make it a bit more pleasing on the eye for these videos. But that all obviously costs money, and obviously that's a problem at the moment. So, you know, everything's super expensive, and yeah, the cameras, like, I could buy a 400 quid camera with a 200 quid lens and it would look miles better, but it wouldn't really do the things I want it to do, and in a way then you've wasted 600 quid. So I'd rather save up and get the actual thing that I'm looking for than buy something half-hearted just to rush into it. Because I'll be honest, like, apart from the memberships, I don't really get anything through the YouTube videos. So it's the memberships that cover it, and I can't, you know, I can't justify spending like $2,000 on a setup of like redoing the whole room and buying cameras and lenses for basically what is like my little YouTube channel, which I enjoy, but it's my own space. And I think the reason I like to do the videos as much as I do, and the reason I like to stream and do as much content as I do, is I don't feel any pressure. If I start buying expensive equipment, I'll feel like there's pressure to make that back and do different things, and that's not how I want it to be. So the world's in a bit of a mess. We're sort of, I don't know where you are with the whole COVID thing, but in England, we're kind of over COVID. The old masks, not really needed. There's a few places, like when I pick up my prescription in the doctors, I need to wear a mask. In fact, no, I don't need to wear a mask, but I do wear a mask just because I don't, to be honest, I don't really dislike wearing the mask. I know there's a few people that hate it and they say it's their freedom and everything, but I actually quite like the fact that when everyone was coughing, that they were covered up. And I don't know about you, I didn't really ever get ill during that period of COVID. Apart from actually getting COVID, I didn't actually get ill, cold. I didn't have any illnesses because I think people were way more clean. People were sanitizing, people were cleaning. And it's kind of funny, isn't it? At the moment, I'm looking at gyms to join. The gyms for me are a little bit far away. I don't know about you folks, but I'd have to walk to my gym, and the gym's like 30 minutes away. Now, a 30-minute walk isn't the end of the world, but that is an hour journey. And if you walk for an hour, I don't then particularly want to go and work out for like an hour. And then it could be pissing down with rain and all of that stuff. And the reason I mention it is, like, the gyms apparently, like, they sanitize all of the equipment, and it's like, it's kind of strange that that wasn't the case anyway. So for all of the bad that COVID has done, and I hate it because it took my smell, for all the bad it's done, it has sort of improved people's cleanliness a little bit, but I think we are getting back to the old ways slowly but surely, just because everyone got sick of wearing their masks, didn't they, and stuff like that. And, you know, I get it, you know, it's a bit annoying. So all that's been going on. I don't know what games you're playing. Every time I speak to somebody about what they've been playing, they normally tell me they're playing Apex. Some of them are playing some Gears. Some of them are busy, so haven't really played anything. And then there are some people that play Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves looks interesting. But I think it might take me a while to jump into that. And yeah, it's just just wanted to chat really, just to see what everyone's up to, get some comments on the channel, read some stuff. I would go into some other stuff, but actually I'm not going to bring any sort of negativity into this video. So I just won't go there. We recently did a developer blog of Gears for old time's sake, and some other reviews of some games. And yeah, I've been enjoying getting back into content a little bit more. I don't think the views are there like they used to be for Gears, but in some regards, I actually got a lot more views due to the fact that some videos got even more views than I used to get on Gears. In fact, it's actually got to a point now where if I do a video that is Gears, I actually get less views, which is a bit of a shame because I do like my Gears fans and I do appreciate the connection we shared. But the reality is the scene doesn't really like me, the company doesn't really like me, and if you're not producing content for that game, you kind of fade out of the scene. That makes complete sense. The router's still going strong that I reviewed. That's all been good. That's helped improve the quality of the stream, which is why, to be honest, I've been thinking about improving my camera quality. And generally, I've been alright. I've had some ups and downs. I wasn't so great probably like for about 6 or 7 months, but I'm feeling a lot better now than I have been doing. I always think the nice weather definitely helps pick you up a little bit. So I just wanted to say, I hope everyone's been doing well. How's everything going in your country and with yourselves? What you playing, what you up to? And that's it really. There's nothing more to this video. There's nothing fancy. There's no big great talking point. I was just sat there and I was like, I feel like I haven't chatted with you guys in ages. It's always been some kind of content or something like that. So let me know if you enjoy these videos, because I can do these videos more often, like just drop them in and have a chat about stuff at random points. So yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say today. I hope you're all having a great morning, evening, wherever you're from. Hope you are all doing well. Have a good one, boys.